All right, YouTube is getting set up here. Give it 1 second. All right, we are live on YouTube as well. Okay, so welcome RLT traders. Welcome anybody there who's getting set up here, watching on YouTube. Let's see, I got to mute this, I think. All right, we are live on YouTube as well. Okay, so welcome RLT traders. Welcome anybody there who's getting set up here, watching on YouTube. See, I got to mute this, I think. All right. Okay. Hopefully I just turned off my speakers. Hopefully that's going to eliminate the repetitive sounds on YouTube. Does everyone still hear me okay? Give me one if you can still hear me okay. Perfect. Okay, cool. Kyle Bennett, how are you? Okay, good deal. All right, so let's go and let's take a look at the market. So, obviously SPY and the Qs are not open yet. So we're just going to look here at the S&P and the NASDAQ, and we are looking like most of the again, I've already mentioned most of the tickers that we follow here for the 10 EMA strategy are gapping up. So could be a busy day. We're futures are looking strong today in terms of where we're going to open for SPY and the Qs. And so it looks like we might even have a little bit of a gap up on the Qs. S&P right now is above Friday's candle. So actually that's yesterday's candle. Okay. So I guess futures obviously were open. That's weird. I'm getting, here's the candle from Friday for the Qs, and this is today's candle. And then I do have a candle posted here from yesterday. Well, anyway, okay, let's go pre-market here, right? So pre-market right now, we're trending down a little bit. Up here, we're coming back down. Things were pretty active initially, but so making some lower lows, lower highs here, but looks like this could be a potential bounce heading towards market open. But let's go and look at the tickers that we follow for the 10 EMA strategy. Change my screen share. Okay, I'm going to start with Nvidia. All right, can everybody see my Nvidia charts? Give me one if you can see those charts. Rock. Cool. Thanks, Dustin. Okay. All right, so I've gone ahead and I did a little pre-market prep. I'll walk you through what I'm looking at. Excuse me, I do have a little bit of a little chest congestion thing going on here. So, okay, so Nvidia. All right, so on the daily, so we are currently gapping over the close on Friday. So yesterday, Friday, bullish candle, gapping above it. We're looking to retest gap, right? So we can expect retest throughout the day with this. So it is not a gap and go. So we cannot expect it just to open, run, and keep going. It's going to retest. So just keep that in mind. Lines I've drawn here on the daily. Here's the high from Friday. I've already marked off. This is the 10 EMA here on the daily, 20 EMA. So I've got those plotted here on the switches to a 3-minute, since that's what we're using. So I've got those plotted here on the 3-minute chart. This is with pre-market on to the left side here. When market opens, I'll go over here and change this to a 3-minute chart without pre-market on. So got our daily EMAs marked out here just so we have a reference line. If I go back to the 5-minute candle real quick. So what I did here, I was just looking pre-market. This orange line that I dropped in here, I put that there just for reference because that clearly was an area pre-market where it was resistance here, right? Poked above it a little bit, and now it's acting as support. So I do want to have that line just as a reference line because that's pre-market. So I just coded that orange just to have a reference. All right, so Nvidia, let's see what else. Decent volume on Friday, right? And we're gapping above here. Currently, we are looking at, like I said, it's sitting on this line. So One thing we obviously have to be aware of is where these EMAs are, because they are going to provide potentially some type of overhead resistance, right? So we've got those marked on the chart. All right, let's go to Tesla. All right, Tesla. And by the way, all of these are going to look very similar, right? So most of these are, except for one so far, but all of these are showing me a bullish candle Friday, gapping above it. So again, expect a retest throughout the trading session. And similar picture here with Tesla, right? So we're gapping above. Let's see, right now we are, price action is 672.80. So we are somewhere, we're still not clearing this candle right now, but again, we just have to be aware that we do have some potential overhead resistance in the form of these moving averages here. So what else can we look at here? Tesla, let me see if there's anything else I wanted. This is the weekly. So this choppy line here, I don't know that we would necessarily get up there, but that is marked off on the chart as well. That is the weekly 100 there. So I've got that marked out on the chart as well. Let's go Amazon. Again, I did all this, I laid out all these lines a little while ago just to get a head start on things. But as I'm going through these, if anyone has any questions, feel free to jump in and post it there in the chat. Amazon, right? Similar look as to the other ones we looked at, although this is interesting. So Amazon here, we do have a bullish engulfing candle here. So anybody looking to potentially do a swing trade, right? Bullish engulfing candles, good, typically a good reversal signal, right? It's happening at the bottom of a move. But with this market, who knows? I mean, it's like things that you expect, and then the market just does what it does. So market's been a little crazy, but nice little bullish engulfing candle. We are gapping above it. With Amazon, what's interesting is pre-market. This is just something to keep an eye on, right? So if we zoom in here a little bit, pre-market. Again, I've got this on the 5. I will switch that back to the 3 later. I just, Brandon, there you are. There's my boy, Brandon Blevins. Are you, so obviously are you in Split? So Brandon and I just, good man. Brandon and I just spent a great week together. Justin was there as well. So I'm sorry, I'm just seeing the names pop up here. So Brandon and Justin, myself, and a bunch of others were just on a little cruise there off the coast of Croatia. And Brandon decided to stay behind. He decided to overcome his fears, throw caution to the wind, and he's currently in Croatia. So it's what we look at, Brandon, about 3 o'clock there, something like that, I think. Working from the Airbnb. Good man. Yep, about 3 o'clock. Good deal. Okay. So back to Amazon, right? So bullish engulfing. We do have this area of resistance here, again, 10 EMA here, right? And if you notice with Amazon, it pretty much got there pre-market, and then it's been making a series of lower lows, lower highs. So just keep that in mind, that is, if we were to get into a trade in Amazon, we definitely would want to see a clear potential, if we're doing the 10 EMA strategy, we would definitely want to see a 1.2, 1.4 Rs, probably by this level here where I'm hovering right now. Could get back up to the high, but I would play a little more conservative. I would be looking somewhere in this area here. So I'm just going to drop a line just so we have a reference. I don't know, Juan. My guess is this is on Thinkorswim. Does anybody else have that wick on? If you're looking at TradingView, I don't know that it's real. I mean, it could be, but it could just be a false. Yes, it's on TradingView as well. Yeah, so it could. Hey, Mike, how are you? So yeah, it could be real. Could just have been orders were just sitting down here and just shot down there, filled them, came right back up. So anyway, I'm gonna code this. I'm gonna make that yellow. I mean, orange. Orange is kind of my go-to pre-market level. So we'll keep an eye on that, right? Because again, that's an area pre-market high where things really got rejected and started coming back down. So there's Amazon. Let's go to AMD. All right, AMD. Here's the one that's a little bit different than the others, right? So AMD, we had a bearish candle on Friday, and we are gapping above it. So we've got a gap and go with AMD. So that's the one that's a little different than the other ones that we've been looking at. So AMD, and then what I'm looking at here is I dropped in this light colored green line here because I'm looking at, if we get in here, the moving averages are way up here, right? So all the other ones, we had some immediate overhead resistance in the form of the moving averages. AMD, we've got some room to run. So I dropped in this green line here just on the daily, because that would be where I would expect there to be some overhead resistance, right? So it's basically the top of this candle cutting through the bottom of these candles here. So that's, again, just a reference line for me. So if we were to get into a trade on AMD, that would be where we would, keep it. We want to keep an eye on that level. Again, that's pretty far away, but you never know. I mean, things can run depending on what the market does. All right. Delta. All right, Delta. Look at this volume on Friday, right? So that caught my eye. That's a big volume spike. So again, like if somebody were thinking of, a potential swing trade, that would be, you got a hammer at the bottom of a move, big bullish volume, that you could potentially be looking at that for a swing trade. But again, we've got a retest gap. So far, the only gap and go that we found is AMD. The rest of them are retest gaps. So we will expect throughout the day, price action to retest certain levels. But if you look pre-market, and again, we're on the 5, I'll switch it back to the 3 later. Just kind of chopping around here. It's not really doing a whole lot, but we are going to open above this candle here. So based on so far what we've looked at, right? So far we're looking at being able to trade any of these almost immediately when the market opens, assuming that they all stay where they are, right? So we're, per the rules, if it's gapping above the previous day high, we can be looking at getting into a trade as soon as the 3-minute pre-market and 3-minute without pre-market on. As soon as those set up, we're good to go. So again, could be busy. And if you all would help me, right? So I've got 8 tickers here. I'm going to try to keep an eye on. So the more eyes that we have on certain things, better off. We'll do it as a team. So if I'm not tracking something, please throw it in the chat, get my attention. Let's see. Delta, Roblox. Hey, Brandon, by the way, I do have the risk calculator set up on MetaTrader. So today will be my actual first day of trying to execute that. So hopefully I don't screw it up. Nothing like, doing it on the first day I'm back on the mic and haven't even done a test trade with it. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, at least I'm on the mic. All right, so Roblox, let's take a look. So Roblox, similar to, I guess, like Amazon, right? In terms of how it traded up to that moving average pre-market here, right? Got up in here and it's pretty much gotten rejected throughout the rest of the pre-market, just making a series of lower highs and lower lows. So not as great looking as some of the other ones that we've looked at, but it's, we'll keep an eye on it. Here's let's see, on the daily. Okay, so on the daily, we've got inside candle here, right? So this candle on Friday did not break the higher or the low of the previous day on Thursday. So we've got an inside day, which is there are a lot of traders who just trade based on inside candles, right? And the idea behind the inside candle is inside is indecision, right? So if it breaks the high or the low of the day, the candle that we're comparing it to, then that typically represents the direction that price action is going to go. So high of this is 27.64. So it did get above it pre-market, but now we are, where are we now? Close. Anyway, so something to keep an eye on. That is a nice look if we do get above that bearish candle from Thursday. But again, we do have some immediate overhead resistance, and we do have to consider the fact that it did trade to that level pre-market and has come back down. All right, let's go to Airbnb. If I can type. There we go. There we go. Okay. Airbnb. So I did not get around to doing this yet. So let's take a look at Airbnb. Let's drop some lines on here. So this way you can see exactly what I was doing. So price level, let's go to the high of this candle. High of this is 161. All right. So let's just throw some lines on here. Okay, let's drop in the, what we got here, 105.31. Make that line a little bit darker. All right. What's interesting though also about where the 10 EMA right now is that it is lining up at the high of this candle. Okay, so that will be an area that we are going to be watching, because if we do get into this trade, we want to make sure that we do have room to at least get up to this level. We do have a high of this pivot here as well, which lines up kind of with the open of this candle. So we'll go back and forth during the day between the 3-minute candles and the daily chart. But what's interesting about this, so here we have one white soldier, right? So we have it opened above the close of the previous day, and it closed above the open of the previous day. So nice looking candle, and it did it on volume. So again, if you're looking at potential swing trades, nice little setup. The one white soldier candle, nice reversal candle. So and we did fill this gap here, right? So we basically filled this gap, and we are now gapping above. So nice look on Airbnb. Let's go to Apple. All right, Apple, interesting. Here's this another wick. Like, what do we have? Amazon had that wick. Does everyone else have that? Do you have that on TradingView? Yeah. Okay. So interesting that Apple and Amazon have the same type of candle. Now, again, here's something where Apple, right, traded up to a high pre-market, and it's just been kind of stair-stepping down from that time. But let's take a look. Drop some lines on here. By the way, give me a 1 in the chat if AMD. I didn't see it on AMD. Give me a 1. Greg's jumping the gun. Give me a 1 if you're trading with the funded account. So I know Brandon has it. Margaret, Dan, Blake. Okay. So what I did notice, and is that not all of the tickers that we're trading with because I'm using the funded account today. That's what I'm going to be trading off of. Yeah, I had it until you blew it up Friday. All right, Juan, we got to work on that risk mitigation, I guess. But it's funny, you're not the only one. I talked to somebody on our trip who has blown up a couple of accounts already. Yeah, so Jose, yeah, it's a little tricky with setting the lots on the funded account. So you have to move the decimal system 2 places to the left, right? So if you're looking at trading 100 shares, the lot would actually be 1 on the traded account. So if it's 100, the dot is after, of course, the 0 there. Move it 2 places to the left, and that would just give you 100 shares would be 1, right? If you wanted to trade 150 shares, move it 2 places, it's 1.5. Okay, so for shares, yeah, crypto is 1 to 1. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna be talking about shares today because we're trading. I'm gonna stick to the shares, the tickers that we're trading for the 10 EMA. Yeah, it's a little confusing. But anyway, for shares, just move the decimal two spots to the left. So if you want to trade 133 shares, it's going to be 1.33. And then also, like for instance, you want to. Well, never mind. I'm not going to get into that. It has to do with the Spriss calculator that my boy Brandon turned me on to. Anyway, let's go back to Apple here. Let's drop in some lines. We have a high here. We've got 7 minutes to go before market open. So it's high 133.08. Drop that in there. 133.08. Let's get this color coded. All right. 136.75. 10 EMA. Right. We do have right here. Okay, we're gonna drop this in as well. This is that choppy light blue line. That is the 100 SMA on the weekly. So we're gonna edit that. Weekly lines, when I drop these in, I always make them a little thicker. So when I look at it, I can see that it's thicker than my other line. So I know that it's a even higher time frame than the daily. All right, so when you look at this here, you can see that line is definitely thicker than my other ones. So, Jose, if I'll tell you what, if you need help, I can't dive into it right now because I got 5 minutes before the market opens. But if you want to hit me up in Slack, happy to try to help you walk you through that. But also, the other thing is I can send you. So I created it. It's not a smart lot calculator. I created just a simple spreadsheet that will calculate your lot size. So, and again, this is just for shares. So if you with this spreadsheet, if you enter your entry, your stop into the spreadsheet, it will automatically calculate what your lot size is. It will give you 1R, 2R, 3R targets. Again, it doesn't you can't connect it to like a trading system, but you can easily just leave that open on one of your screens. It's just an Excel spreadsheet, and you can just plot that stuff in there. So hit me up on Slack. I'll get that to you. Anybody else who wants that, if you want it, hit me up on Slack. I could also try to post it in here a little bit later when if things are slow. So let's go to, all right, so Apple, I think we are good with Apple, and we have our lines all set. Again, keep in mind here, I'm gonna just, you got to remember Apple and Amazon. Well, I guess several start with A. I was going to say the 2 tickers that start with A, but anyway, both of those did trade to targets pre-market, so we just want to be aware of that. Favorite gap so far is AMD because it is a gap and go. And what I could do is I'm going to write a note. You can't see what I'm doing because it's on a different screen, but I can add a text note that just will remind me on the screen that is a gap and go. All right, so I think we are good. I think we're good with what we're looking at. Let's go back real quick. Let's look at the markets one more time. Okay, so everyone can see my my 6 charts there. So let's see, 5 minute. I'm on a 5 minute time frame here. So we got a, you know, we've got a higher low here and a higher low here. So we just got to break this pivot, this last pivot here, and hopefully we'll start making. Hey, Vin man. So hopefully we'll start, you know, making a move back back bullish if we can start clearing this when the market opens, start moving up. All right, so I'm going to end. Let's do this. Let me give me 1 second. I am going to, let's see, I'm going to end our live session on YouTube. So any of you who are watching this on YouTube, if you like what you're seeing here, if you want to learn more about the 10 EMA strategy, just go to reallifetrading.com and you know, join the group, join the crew. It's a great community. All right, let me end the recording here. All right, hopefully I did that right. Okay, let's go back to screen share. Let's go back to. All right, so everyone can see my my 2 screens side by side. Yeah, cool. Let's see, Joshua, do I think about trading bullish gap and goes differently based on whether the overall market is bullish or bearish? Yeah. So, you know, you do want to. I mean, the easiest approach is to trade with the market, right? So if the market's going bullish, look to trade bullish. If the market's going bearish, look to trade bearish. But the caveat to that is a gap and go is typically a strong gap, right? And you got to not every gap and go is created equal, but you have to look at that. And then, you know, certainly if it's a strong gap and go, let's say if it's a bullish gap and go, and there's a lot of bearish traps, well, you know, that can easily go the opposite direction of the market. So you just have to analyze it. Let's get set up here. This is going to be a 3-minute here. Let's go to a 3-minute here. I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm going to go, let's start with AMD just because that's the gap and go. All right, market opened. I don't know why the screen looks so weird right now. Okay, so market open. Let's take a look. We are, so for this strategy, right? So we are looking, it's a bullish, we're looking to go bullish today, right? So we are looking for the first bear candle that is on both the pre-market, with pre-market on, pre-market off. We're looking for the first bear candle. So I've got, you can't, well, maybe I'll just do a quick screen share. Let me show you, here's what I'm looking at down below. Okay, everyone can see the screen now that I've got eight charts there. So that's what I'm looking at across the board so I can try to track. Okay, so it looks like Nvidia, we are looking for a potential bear candle. So we are looking for the first bear candle. Vinman's already in a trade. Stud. You think I am on YouTube? I closed that screen. I know it's delayed. I closed the screen, so I'm not sure why this is. so off right now. Seems like I'm still live. Thomas, how do I end that? I'm sorry, this was the first, no idea. Okay, well, I guess we will figure it out. I'm not really sure what's going on with my 3-minute chart over here, but all right. All right, AMD. See, drop down top left corner. On the screen that you're looking at here, Justin. All right, let me stop the share real quick. Oh, Zoom control. Thanks, Johnny. More here.